So let's get it started. My eyes are gonna be on Neox Factory. Are we gonna finally see that crazy hot drop? I'm hoping so. Let's go ahead and send on over to our casters, John Allen and Blink. It is time to get fresh with it. Here on day 2 of the grand finals for the Pmgc, we are going to be dropping in over Rondo for the second time. Hopefully, well, definitely not the last. There's at least one still to come tomorrow, because that will be where we'll see our Smash boundary set. But we have to look in towards this one. The Neox Factory hot drop situation did not pop off yesterday. Will that change today, or a team's going to maintain stability?
Let's hope. Let's hope for stability. Killer Joe, 777 damage. Let it ride.
Let it ride.
Let it ride. That's a very lucky scoreline for him, so hopefully that look can come back into effect right here, right now. Wild with the 5 limbs here on Rondo. A surprising candidate there for Regnum Kaya, in my opinion, considering that I think a lot of the work comes through from Zedwolf, from Silas, from Loxy. Wild's usually that guy that holds down the fort for the team, right? He holds the anchor. But Wild here, absolutely going crazy.
This is a 3v3 in MA Town on the northeast side. Alpha 7 and E-Arena. Revel through the door, the window, sorry, not quite able to connect, but that was a wild run out coming on through for Turney-K, but he goes down. Both teams have sent an outpost recall position, and they're probably going to need to get on the road now. Alpha 7 move west to Muhopan with their solo, and all the way down to Regina City, actually. It's Joker for E-Arena. The fight's still popping, though, and Obscure takes a nade to the face. Bad for the health. Revel looking to try and keep things under control. The only player now alive in this situation, in this spot for Alpha 7, but he's going to give it a good go. Unfortunately, that's not going to be quite enough. Not this time around. E-Arena able to hold their nerve in the face of fire, and Alpha 7 are going to be swept back to their recall spot. Muhopa.
Thai crowd's loving that. Tell you that now. This is Alpha 7 as well. Pretty aggressive team, hard team to take down. This is Danjing, and not the place you expect to have 4 teams in at the moment. You've got Kara here, Mad Balls, R8 as well. Look what the guys on the desk are talking about R8. I think that, they should be very proud with the performance so far. Very cool as well, considering, you know, we're getting Pmg over for Pakistan. But I think for R8, especially that MENA region, they performed fantastically here. I think Amori is real devil in the mix at the moment. Mad Balls, though, still giving it as good as it gets. Can't really count out Pusher either on Mad Balls after the slick performance versus APG yesterday, almost getting the 1v4 off.
CEO moving up the staircase to back off the fight a little bit for Kara. Still playing on this split, waiting for their final players to drop, it seems. See what value they can extract here. Vampire with the recall position down towards Tinlong Garden. Taking a while to get over towards that way if they went normally. Kara, we just had some bad news in our ears playing this fight. Whilst it is going to continue to pop off, we are going to be seeing a restart. Unfortunately, on this match, the game is going to be going once more, which is unfortunate. We'll see who's going to win this fight, though. We are still in with an interesting situation. I wonder if the hot drops might change on a repeat, on a re-go, on a restart on the match.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, for the Saudi team, it definitely is a little bit of a struggle for them as well, considering down to getting 1 elimination off that. Looked like it was going fairly well. Yeah, I think teams are just waiting.
Oh, okay. Well, I've had some interesting news to change that. I baited you all. This is a real match. We're not getting a restart. There's been too much that's gone on. Okay, so this fight really does matter. All right, able to come back on in. I'm sort of clocked out a little bit, I'll be honest, Blank, but we are back on board. With 4 elims for R8 and Vampire playing on the inside now, looking to try and rack up these points. Lazarus will rise once again, I'm sure. Tony-K is looking to try and control the staircase. It's not going super well. Anytime ult in a 1v3. Coach won't be able to take that one down. Nothing doing there for Scarface. Vampire continue to lose a player. Mori with the dropout. Looking for Tony-K now. Kara have disengaged from this fight entirely, and they will have to continue their path out to the west.
Murray's still looking for more here. S4K runs up bullets here at the moment. Tony-K will tuck in for just a second. Now our rate looks for a little bit more. Tony K is really getting nipped in the heels at the moment. A quick switch around. We'll find at least one.
Not going to be able to get that flush out just yet, and it might be Amori with the res. Tony K now with a nade, cooking it. Amori actually wants the challenge. He's going for the fight. A double bouncer on it. Up and down the door frame, and Tony K rinses it.
Yeah, that was actually insane. In the meantime, Vampire's been able to get all their players back up and kicking. Left Tony K behind, assuming that he wouldn't be making it too much further into this match, but that remains to be seen. With a very close performance there from him. Pubg Unite 2025, by the way.
Wow,
And here with Pubg and Pubg Mobile all at the same time. Both monitors, if you could. Do us a favour.
On both your Infinix GT30s, you know?
Yeah.
That's what you want. To be able to rack that one up. We're looking currently at around where our show match is. Around on that river hook on the southwest side. Rodrigo looking to hold down the ground, and Paragin will not be able to move in through it. There is still lots of recalls available. It's just a question of now getting to those recall locations. When you're this central, as DXavier are right now, the recall beacons are much more hotly contested and vigilantly guarded, right, by all the teams that have surrounded them. It's actually a lot harder to get recalls on if you've gone center early. So losing a player like that might be DXavier busted down to 2, but I feel like at 2, you do just have to look to commit to a recall, even if you have to go all the way down south towards Long Ho.
Do have a Pmgc code redemption here, which is Pubg x PUBGM, so whack that on in-game to receive your rewards.
Oh, a little tune to go with it too. That's one of the rewards, I think.
Yeah, you like that? That was good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh.
I'd like if you did that again, probably. All right. Ooh, on the recall tower as well. Alpha 7 looking to hunt this one down. The swing out from the north side.
And that's all right out because of that. That was their final player. Mid-recall as well. Very, very much a rough scenario for you there. Alright, been able to start the day with 5 elims though, at least. But it's not all doom and gloom for the squad. Ulf's here with 37 points on the leaderboards. I think Ulf did okay yesterday. I want to see a little bit more out of them. Some of the holds were less impressive. And I think for Scarface, who is an extremely experienced player, it was somewhat frustrating watching him miss some of these DP shots, or just not even take the DP shots at all. I want to see Scarface flexing out a little bit more on these off angles. Just because you're a Pmgc doesn't mean you have to stop playing to your strengths, even though they are a little bit dangerous at times. Same could be said for Vampire. Honestly, for Lazarus, previously Schweppes, he was someone that I always praised the off angles for. Not really doing that as much.
Human with the challenge on the wall. Alva with the roll-off. Sorry, that's Moana coming on through and getting that spray down, getting that shotgun, but it's traded. QXC holding its nerve on the corner. Recalls are going to be still available. So if you get out of this fight, you can get your team back. Krypton, though, doing a lot of work. And so's Rosemary here as he saddles on into the fight. So easy now in the corner. Looking to play solo on this, as I'm imagining that the other player from DXavier has sent away from it. Trying to go for one of those recalls. From DRX, sorry. Playing on the inside, though, now 3 players from Rodrigo bearing down upon him. Looks for the shots. Rosemary baited by a teammate. No, don't want to shoot that guy. Step on in instead. And Rosemary able to shut it down nice and quickly. So easy falls, and DRX down to 1 player.
Just embed all the bullets in the wall, and eventually some will find so easy. DRX will send Kaisei out as that beacon holder for the team. Trying to get back into action. After the amazing day DRX had yesterday, it would be a shame to see them go down so early here on Rondo, where they could potentially get themselves up into a first place with DXavier going down to just 2.
Are Alpha 7 going to crash on towards Kaisei and take down another solo rezzing player? Another recalling solo? We'll have to wait and see, because they are pretty close to each other on the western side. Mad Bulls trying to hold down Happy Central, the west side of things a little bit, stopping Team Flash from getting in. No casualties felt, though, for Team Flash. Just a little bit of a reposition. And actually, sending out towards Kaite, who does now need to be worried. Solo player, last for DRX, second place on the tables. And they are looking to try and hold this one out. Team Flash, they're rolling on up, and looks like they're here to stay. But they've already managed to get the recall, and DRX are now here to play as well.
DRX, if they're able to get a clean fight off the back of this one, John, it means a fairly quick reset as well. They're working with limited supplies, which is probably the most difficult part of this, but if they're able to take down the players from Flash, oh my god, they'll be set for this game. So it's a tough task, John.
Double barrel, not a lot of ammo on those recalls as well. That's a nade finding its mark. Now around the corner, Kai'Sa needs to try and hold out win. Low HP, does get clipped. The long angle here coming on through as well. But another step out, peak knock comes through for Team Flash. And DRX on the ropes here. Hyunbin though with a challenge on the off angle. Brings them even on the numbers. The nade nearly connecting and getting a flush there is a nice little point improvement coming through for DRX.
Yeah, it's a good shot from Hyunbin. Him being able to take down the backline player really does send things into a little bit of disarray now for the Flash. Sadly, DRX supplies are running very low. They are destitute on the side of the South Korean team.
Low ammo, no nades, really fresh off that recall. Feet just about back on ground. Terra Firma not as comfortable as it needs to be for them right now. Healing coming on through will be limited as well, but Hyunbin is giving it a good go here. He's got a lot more ammo than the rest of them. He is really the major danger right now. 14 Flash, but speaking of QXE with a swift little peek out. Now they've got two players to fight on in. The smoke covering the door here, but they might just try and charge it through. They can still get this recall with the smoke cover.
DRX opening the door with the res is going through. Flash moves off it on the side. Both players about as much HP as the final player from Flash here.
They know he's on the outside. Bose with the challenge, maybe try and break out. A double bounce from Hyunbin as well, banking the nade perfectly, and that is Team Flash done and dealt with. Could not find the recall. Oh, that shot coming in, but Hyunbin's going to stick it. Where's that coming from? Either way, the circle popped up in the midst of all of that. Team Flash going down there. It's disorganized. It's not good.
No, it's not. I mean, for Team Flash, all that comes down to is Hyunbin on that back angle. With the 1v1 he takes, he's confident enough to go for it as well, and that really does now push DRX back into a better position. Really cool to see, honestly, for DRX. I think it was potentially one of the players from Mad Bulls or DXavier taking shots over towards DRX there. DXavier did get themselves back up to 4 players total, but they're out in the blue right now, so it's a bit of a journey for them to get back in. Pmgc, though, slap bang in the center of the circle, looking to get Pmgc back under control now, but with only 3 players, it is a little bit more of a challenge for them.
Yeah, they lost a player earlier. I believe it was to Alter Ego, if I'm not mistaken, who are on their north side right now. But Alter Ego have also taken a knock and a flush. However, they have 6 elims, which is a little bit better, I think it's safe to say, than 0 elims. And they are pretty happy with that performance. On the north side of the center of this circle, I think they're chilling for a little bit longer. DXavier trying to get an outpost in through the middle. The rest of them very far afield. We'll see where they're able to find their way on in. Thundertalk spotting Vampire in the meantime as well on our screens. Vampire trying to push in from that south edge, and Thundertalk denying them access. Recall towers are still available. You can still use those recall beacons, so getting one of those under control is a pretty big asset.
It's still a case of kind of having to go out into the edge of the circle to get that done. I think APG currently is guarding off the one over on the north side of the map here, preventing teams from heading over towards that way. D+ are quite late into this circle, for D+, I would say, on the northwest edge. They will be challenging against APG, go fairly soon, as well as their South Korean teammates.
Straight out, Mad Bulls over towards DRX on the rotate, who are now only 2 players alive. Like, I'm still wondering where the rest of DXavier are, because I think 3 of them are very far out in the blue somewhere. Levi sent in, and it is now fairly central as a solo, so he's scouted the access route south, but that scouting is going to start to time out as teams move in towards the area. And he's not really going to be able to hold that position as a solo if someone decides to rock up on it. And at the moment, Ulf, very, very close by.
Yeah, that's a DRX. It's a pretty ridiculous push-up here from DRX. Absolutely no one looking to do anything about it. In comes DXavier on the western road, past Carrillo from Alpha 7, who really isn't getting too much done. DRX do take a knock and a flush there.
Zedwolf down on Pmgc, the team to take that knock over towards DRX and leave them as 1. But losing Zed Wolf, that's not really... if you have to choose a player to lose, to be honest, Silas, I reckon. You take him out of the mix, he can still IGL. He can still backseat that, you know? Not Zed Wolf. He's a lot of fun.
I think it's kind of strange for Red and Kai because I think they rely on Silas so much as a scout that some of their game plan goes to pot once they lose him. D+ though, going up against APG. Chips is down and Fabian goes next. That's from shots afar.
APG taking the full knock, the full flush on the squad. The squad wipe to APG. Blank, they did it yesterday on Rondo. They got a few more elims for their money. But it's just so back and forth with this roster. And I don't think my nerves can take it. Vampire did manage to get a recall onto their player who got knocked and flushed. And those recall towers now going to start to shut off fairly soon. So a nice valuable pickup coming on through. And on that south side, they do need to march further north. DXavier moved in, but they only managed to get through with 3. They did lose 1 on that approach, which is further north still of that southern blockade by Thundertalk.
I think I'm mostly looking over towards Kara in the arena right now, what they're going to do next, because they actually have to get in, but they're cut out by that Eastern Road, and you've got Alter Ego to look at. Red and Kai, you're probably challenging out for this position. Thundertalk need to come through here as well. Vampire trying to wrap up over towards that northwest side, but they've come into contact now with Alpha 7.
That is a pretty fearsome thing to see. King scouting it out. Vampire, as you said, wide swing. King trying to track them. Damage dealt both ways. That's going to allow Vampire to access around that more eastern side of the approach, the smokes, on towards Alpha 7's position. They're putting them out, but they do cover those sidelines towards some of the rotations. Tony K going bold on the peak. There's a nade finding its way on through, just about to go off. Half a second, doesn't quite connect. The hop through is a little bit stronger there. And may still be a few littering the ground, but they're exchanging. Vampire have managed to skirt this one.
Some initial great shots over towards Skir as well, who is the main sideline over towards Vampire at the beginning. So getting him fairly low did mean the rest of Vampire could move up. Now Red Bull's going to make a move here over towards the rest of the team. But he's skirting very, very wide, so he should be okay. But this is a frustrating aspect of the match now for Alpha 7, because realistically you want to hold that angle. With Vampire getting up here, makes your life very, very difficult, because you ever want to leave from here, you want to try and take a peek out towards the east side of the circle, which is probably more important to Alpha 7 right now. You have to cut through Vampire.
It's not ideal. On that southwest side, Kara fighting off on the eastern edge. This is the teams that you were talking about, right? E-Arena and Kara. Thundertalk moving up towards the north. Kara going to try and move first, get ahead of the curve. Sitting not going to be able to find that shot, find that spray down, and off angles suppressing. Is that coming from DXavier? I think it might have been. And Kara gets through with 2.
Getting an anchor down as well, right? They've set the post up. The rest of Team 9 needs just to rappel over towards them. Alpha 7, though, looking over towards Vampire. Tony K already down, now flushed out. Carrillo takes an absolute whopper to the face there.
Ooh, and Lazarus spotted as well. That is nasty. Vampire now playing on us too. Both players from Alpha 7 not getting fully knocked there. Allows them to go for those heals, get those health bars nice and reset. They're looking healthy into this fight. Lazarus nowhere near getting res up here as well. And they're crashing straight on forward. Like they want to close this one out, but maybe they've been more they can chew. Grizzle getting a little bit crazy with it, and maybe not the optimal moment to do so. Oh dear, that's not what you want to see. Alpha 7 losing 1.
I mean, it looked kind of sick, you know. He stopped up short and then got out of the vehicle and let the momentum propel him over the top of Red Bull. Sadly, didn't quite pan out the way he'd like, but I think for Alpha 7, that really does hurt them. And I think that if I was Carrillo, I'd be pretty upset with Guizar right there. You just dropped your team down to 3 for no reason.
Oh, Carrillo though finds another knock, looks for the last. It's Lazarus to try and rise above. One spray, one nade connects. The shotgun around the edge, just not quite enough firepower there. Rebel does go down, but they could look for this res again. The Blue Zone's moving in, but they've got a little bit more time to play with.
Yeah, super interesting ending here, with Kara able to get over towards a little hilltop. You've also got Alter Ego on the northeast side in the compound, Ulf down towards the southwest, who are both fairly safe. You've got Goat as well inside of this, so likely we're going to get towards the end game here with 4 teams at 4 players, which is frightening for some of our squads. Ching is just getting lit up by Marceau here. This is the revenge for the shots that were taken earlier.
That is nasty news for Thunder Talk. They were trying to keep themselves under control on the south side, but their move forward has been treacherous. Those emergency cover flares not quite giving them enough cover. They need a little bit more. And AJ now the last to stand, only the one Elim over towards Alpha 7, takes a little volley of fire, but can't really afford to stay out there too long. Alpha 7 trying to move in as well. They are right on the rim of this circle, Blanket. They are just trying to skirt around the edges, trying to find any sort of cover that they can. It's really sparse, but that's going to make it a little bit easier. Thunder Talk, though, out in the meantime.
Alter Ego able to find those shots. I'd like to see a step up from Alter Ego today, and already at 9 elims, it's been a fantastic game for them so far. Yesterday, I still think there was a bit of overconfidence coming through, which is crazy, considering Alter Ego has multiple times over the course of PMGC got a little overconfident on their splits and were punished because of it. Rosemary, though, doing it again.
It's going pretty well, though. Managed to get that 10th Elim. Kara holding their nerve as Iorina trying to leave the angle. They're harried by Rosemary, slammed straight to the Kara hold, and it is not going well. Sakura trying to find a little slice of this circle under the tree, trying to hide beneath the shade here, but it is a little bit of a nerve-wracking spot. Nobody has to move just yet. Wait for the next circle coming through in 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think that when I look at Alter Ego, I think they're a team that loves to take these risks, right? And I think they also understand they're a team that can capitalize and profit off those risks quite a lot. They're not a team that takes a risk and gets 1 or 2 elims. Typically when that happens, they have these big games. So far, this is one of those games with 10 elims in the pocket at the moment. Pretty heavy on the jeans there, but let's see if they can start to break the seams with a couple more elims off the back of this end game.
There are threads that can be picked at in Alter Ego's gameplay. Let's hope they don't unravel here on the approach, because they do need to move. Krypton, though, with a beautiful opener on the nade. Marceau already very low. Layers it on with a second to land as well. More damage being dealt. Lewis is now very low, and Krypton looking to get the healing in. Alva has now been allowed to get up and close. Doesn't have any nades. Neither does Krypton, so they can't put them back on into the mix against Kara. But another step up, and goes for the spray down. Connects with Marceau. CEO now trying to challenge. The off angles from Iorina could come.
No!
Going straight on over the top, trying to suplex them there, and Alpha has to follow it up. It's going well, though. Has to back off the HP low. Alpha 7 chiming in. Krypton with the last chance, and Rosemary says go, but it is not the right time.
Man, I think that Krypton had set that up so well as he walked further and further forward, past where the nades were going over the top of him, stutter stepping his way into a better spot, and then Rosemary just sends it. And again, there is a world there where Rosemary flattens both the players, and it's incredible. But this is what we're working with Alter Ego, is just these parallel worlds where in certain situations, yes, that goes well, but there was a more consistent approach there. And I don't think we had to go for the Doctor Strange approach, honestly.
I mean, it felt like they were really low on utility there. They didn't have the nades really to back up that position anymore.
They had mollies, and that was the perfect spot to start mollying, and then you could have isolated position.
They have that opportunity. It was thrown to the wayside, but 10 elims on the match blank. It's still a good result. They'll still be able to earn points off it, but it could have been bigger. It could have been phenomenal, actually. Getting 10 at this point already. Going further, one can only imagine what they would have found. But it is not to be. Instead, we will turn our eyes to the rest of the lobby. Right now on the roadside, you've got Rectum Kaya, TX Xavier with 3. Doing pretty well on their position as well. They don't have any elims just yet, but that's just their MO. That's their modus operandi.
We'll see what DX Xavier will do with the rest of this game. It was a tough start for him, though. So this wasn't just a gifted position on the map, and I think they realized potentially they're underlooted, right? They had to come out from the blue. They got the recall beacon in. So I'd love to see how much they've got on board. Finally, the angle is checked. Tony K put into a 1v4 all of a sudden.
Oh, but he gets the first. Doesn't get the second, though. Kara have been a major profiteer of this circle. A nice knock threaded through there. Again, from Alpha 7, who managed to keep themselves going with 2 players. Kind of impressive, if you ask me, on their south side. They looked very raggedy in terms of their positioning, in terms of their approaches, but it's cleaned itself up a little bit. They are now together, but the next circle comes on through. Is it going to help them, or is it going to take them away? No, well, you know who it is going to help, though? It's Rondo and DX Xavier are on the map, so, of course, just put them in. Why not?
DX saved by the zone. That's how it goes down.
Oh dear, but I don't know if you guys heard that through my mic, but there's an MG3 in play. Maxman, very, very excited.
It is my boy Killer Joe.
Hey, he's got ammo.
Well, it's not a lot for an MG3 at least. It'll keep him going for the end game potentially. Mad Bulls making their way up on their western side. Both teams had to remove themselves from fairly consistent positions on the map. Mad Bulls has been through it this game. Although only on a few elims, they have been in quite a few separate fights where they've decided to disengage and get further into this one.
He's trying to make space there.
That's a good setup, actually.
This is a really solid place for DX Xavier right now. I mean, there's really not too many teams to worry about. Ulf, maybe a bit of a threat here. Alpha 7 though, going to help them on the buffer side. I think Kara probably is a major worry for DX Xavier, but even then, they got crossfires on the approach. Goat team trying to make their way on up to join Mad Bulls on that ridgeline. Already an excavated divot there for them to line up on towards. They can play it low down.
Nice.
Funnel nade towards you and an immediate double followed up by the roll in. Lemon is big with it and gets that flush. Flip does go down. Killer Joe is still in action. And remember, he's got the MG3.
Honestly, it used to be the past that we talked about Paragin as this guy who was the paragon of grenades in the game, but for my money is on Lemon these days as that player. I think the nades from Lemon have always been incredible, backed up by the rest of his team.
Ooh.
Sadly, though, there is some nasty nades going through from Solus at distance, which do cut them down to size.
Ooh, and actually, Killer Joe's still going, but he just trade 1 for 1, and the knock can potentially be rezzed by Regnum Kaya here. That is on their double position. They're playing 2 and 1 right now, so could get res depending on how fast teams roll up, because it is time to roll out. Ulf moving in ahead of the Mad Bulls, not wanting to put too much pressure on, though. They're going to fold back south and see what they can get done down there.
Kara in a horrendous spot. And that just makes life so much harder on that shift on the circle over towards the western side. As soon as Kara had to leave here, they were going to get shredded. Question is by who? DX Xavier could pick themselves up some nice points, but it has been Alpha 7 who has been sort of the all-seeing eye inside of this lobby so far, being able to pick up points here and there. And even if they haven't been picking up points, they have been causing problems.
They have really been an issue in the fights that they've been engaged with in their spots. Kara, 11 elims though, Blank. This is a good result if you're at the bottom of the tables, but their next move really will be a big test. Marceau, 6 of those elims. Lemon landing the shots over towards Silas. That is the solo angle for Regnum Kaya. So unlikely to get res there. I don't think Loxy or Wild's going to want to break out, but if they can get the nades on, maybe they try and confirm for Silas. Sprayed out for Wild. Connects on the Lemon, immediately going for the flush. And actually Tuka's down as well. Off angles chiming on in. Maybe Silas is looking more and more resible, but the health bar just not agreeing with me.
I don't think they go across towards Silas. He was trying to be the early alarm system for the team, which is totally fair. He goes down, but he does provide that alarm, right? It does flare. This is what's talking about Kara. It was a matter of time for them. They were never leaving that spot in the first place. I like the wrap they went for on the north side. It was one of the few options left. I think some teams wouldn't even think about doing that. And DX Xavier is able to find Alpha 7 as they attempt to crawl up.
I mean, this is nuts. This has happened again. Ulf actually get one of those points over towards Alpha 7. I think DX Xavier may be on 1 elim right now, Blank. It could be the minimalistic approach to a rondo that we saw from them yesterday. They're trying to beat their own record.
I don't need any more than that. All right, you get yourself a 13-point game here on Rondo. Pushes you up the leaderboard. You're in first place, so you just create more and more of a buffer. Exactly, it's the fortune that you're given by being towards the top of the lobby. You can play a little bit slow, but these nades so far have been pretty mean from Ulf. He pulls out the M79, creates a small cloud of support there.
Turkish tag team right now over towards DX Xavier. Trying to get the line up. Loxy goes for the shots, but has to fade back on in. The final circle closing, and Ulf have got the center. Regnum Kaya with 2, Ulf with 3. DX Xavier now losing one of their players. down onto as well.
I see what Regnum Kai can get done here. As an experienced team, it's not out of the question that they hit the 2v3. Wild has been really stepping up. I'm very, very proud of the guy over the course of this tournament.
They did, remember, lose very early into this match point.
Okay.
Going to reposition the vehicle there. Tactfully. Nice jam.
That's on target.
Ooh, a big name comes from Direct, and another knock comes through as well. Naty sets up a 2. A big pickup towards Ulf, and they're going to lose one of them. The question is who's getting these points. I think he's going to go for that flush, but Regnum Kaya now trying to rip across this high ground and take the center of the circle away. It's going to work out, and Scarface now trapped behind the vehicle. He's not even going to go for it. He's looking for the denial here. He's got the jammer pack on. Still trying to utilize those impactful plays, but Wild goes down on the high ground. Loxy
No way!
He steps out, he doesn't go for the vehicle, no! He goes for another with a shotgun, and Loxy
Come on, Loxy!
cannot find it! It's the Xavier to rebuff his advances. He will be forced to go down here. Regnum Kaya fall, and now Scarface in a 1v1.
Paragin looking to finish off the game strong at the start of the day. A great spray down. Like 30% of the HP. Has to look into a crater now. And it's Paragin behind the tree. Looks to move up. He's not going to let him go for the heel.
Stepping up, and it's going to be the joust to go for the final moments. Oh, run them through. A DX Xavier denied. No pacifistic play here. The Wolves are out.
You get yourself a 6 point off that one for the second place. But to be quite frank, for all fair, a pretty damn good game overall. I was happy with the way they played it out. It was slow but steady.
Nicely done there. A lot of interesting dynamics unfolding during that match. The passive play not working out for DX Xavier the same way as it did yesterday, but they still get points.